Guys and gals around the world, welcome to the Gosh Stuff podcast on a very special edition. This is the first time in the history of the Gosh Stuff podcast we have been joined by the ladies. And that's right. We are stoked today.
Watch your views go straight up now.
Oh, probably. We are joined today by
maybe not
Sherry, John's wife Chrissy, and our good friend Jessica has come to set us all straight. She is our counselor. We're just kidding.
This is a group therapy session. We're just bringing everybody in on. Jessica's a trained counselor to walk us through some past trauma in our life. I think that Anthony was abducted by aliens at one point, so we're going to talk about that. And was probed in some benevolent readings. We'll find out what happens with that.
Don't laugh.
I'm not sure. Yeah, this is serious,
Sorry.
Anthony.
This is a safe space.
Sensitive.
Yeah.
We're
Safe
here
space.
for you, Anthony.
I laugh to
cover the
pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we'll talk about Anthony's alien abduction experience and his anal probing at some point.
Okay, you
We went there.
No, that's staying in.
Better edit that out.
Are we even 2 minutes in?
No, we're like 30 seconds in. It's great. It goes off the rail quick and quick. But we're here. We're so excited to have Jessica. Let me make sure I get her name right. I've been practicing. Let's see. Koloian.
Oh, so good. You got it.
Got it?
Yes.
Telling you. I am the master of the English language. I'm telling you. That's me. But we're so excited to have her here. Jessica is a actress, a wife, a all-around awesome woman who does a lot of things. She's been in a couple movies that we actually have interviewed the director on. If you haven't checked out that podcast, check it out with George Johnson. Great movie called Thy Neighbor. She was one of the main actress in that movie. We'll get into that a little bit. And she also was in the video for the Guess Who, the little rock band, the Guess Who. And so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, was in that. Really, that song I haven't heard of the Guess Who in like a long time, right? Didn't know they were even still around, and until that song come out and I heard it, and I was like, this is an awesome song, and the video was great. Like I cried a little bit, but the song was amazing.
Fire, in case y'all didn't know.
I do cry a little bit.
It's a really good song.
It is, dude. Like my daughter, she's 9, and she's Thai, and so we're sitting there watching the video. We're like, oh, this is a good video, and she's like, is that a lady singing? And I was like, no, that's a dude. That's a dude. That's a guy. It's like, oh,
beautiful
okay.
hair though.
Yeah, amazing
beautiful hair.
Amazing hair.
Yes.
Amazing. Long flowing locks.
I saw Poison in the record store. The band Poison. I remember back in the 80s, we had this record store at the mall, and I saw what I thought were these very attractive women on this album cover, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a metal band of all girls. And I got closer, I was like, ah!
It's no dudes.
They have Adam's apples.
I tell you, I'll one up you on that one. There's a band back in the early 2000s called AFI, right? A Fire Inside, right? They're an emo band. I actually like the band. And so their video was playing, and I was kind of just in the background watching whatever. And there was a shot of the lead singer and stuff. And I was like, oh, that chick's kind of hot in a weird, emo-y kind of way. And then I started looking. I was like, that's a dude. I was like, I need to check some of my spirit. Something like I felt a little.
Why he takes Chrissy out with him on missions.
Can we check in with the wives real fast? Are you guys still good? Are these attractions worrisome? Did you know
married
about
him
this?
20 years.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you're the therapist. You help
yes,
us. Here.
exactly.
We've
You're supposed to
Okay.
walk us
been for a
through this.
long time.
I'm gonna step in.
It
At this
goes
point
back
in
to,
life, I just let it go.
Yeah.
it goes back to
She's 20
Anthony's.
years deep. She's
He's
like,
what?
She's invested. What's she gonna do? She can't find nobody else as good. Like, she's been working for 20 years to get me to this point. Is she gonna do that? She gonna
I
invest
don't
for
have
20
the
years?
energy
No, man.
to do it on anybody
Wow.
else.
That's so depressing, but there's truth.
Exactly. Like, what you gonna do?
Thanks, Jess. Thanks.
wow.
Wow.
So, talking about that, speaking of
Oh.
which, our special edition, we're going to talk
Oh, my
about some of Jessica's acting career and talk about that a little bit. But also, that's why we brought all the women on to talk about the very big topic of what do women want? All the women.
All the women.
The women.
All the
We're
women.
representing. all
Exactly.
women.
Y'all
The
represent.
The entire
the
planet.
entire planet.
Exactly. And so we brought them on to do it. We're going to talk about what women want in a guy, for married, like what that looks like, but also all the single guys out there. If there's any single guys listening to this podcast.
And we
all-
know there are actually.
Yeah.
There are single dudes who listen to the podcast.
well, there we
So,
go. One of the six.
Yes.
Every
So
single dude.
both of you.
This whole podcast is for that one guy.
Yes.
Exactly.
You're welcome. You're a lucky man,
Exactly.
whoever you are.
I'm going to name him Joe. Joe, out there, you're single. This one's for you,
Joe
buddy.
Single
This one's
Guy.
for you.
Joe Singleman.
Just single.
There you go. Joe Singleman. This
You
this
guys
podcast.
are just so creative.
I'm telling you,
Wow.
man. We are.
Look.
I'm gonna say I'm a little jealous of all this fun that you guys must be having while the rest of us are working and raising a family.
And we're sober,
You do this
right?
all the time, right?
I mean, like, well,
This is once a week, baby. Once a week. This is my therapy session. This is where I just
And
get
he
it out.
always gives that serious face too. Like I'll come to the door. We got
Oh, yeah.
glass door here, and he's like I'm working.
Yeah.
You know, like give me just a few minutes. I'm working, and I hear him in here
I
dying.
mean, it's not nice.
It's what you
I
got to
think
do.
we should do this
I
girls
feel
thing more
attacked.
often. Oh, we love you. We would never want to offend you. We're just
It's about
we're
us today,
offended. We're
okay?
getting left out. Yeah.
fair point. John, we're just going to be quiet and give them the mics.
Let's go. Here you go. Let's take it
That's
over.
what- that is what women want. We're done.
We already knew that. The Bible said
I
that.
agree.
Like the Bible's like you will desire to have your husband. Your desire will be for your husband. And see, that's what we want. Y'all just trying to take over. That's what we figured it out.
Just last night, I looked at Sherry down the couch and I said, "Hey, would you like the remote?"
Did you want the remote?
Oh my Lord.
She didn't.
I
Is
actually
this the thing?
didn't.
I offered.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
This is the dad
let's all
jokes
take
I got.
a moment to clap for you.
So this is
And
this
she
is
would
what
have
I got
probably lost it.
Honey, where's the remote? I can't find it. I can't find. How do you turn this? This is mine. How do you turn this thing on? I can't. Why I can't figure out the channel? Where's it's Netflix or YouTube? What's the?
You must be talking about your mom because I know you're not talking about me.
No, I'm talking about you, woman. Talking about you.
Only the past couple of years. I don't know what happened, man. I used to be the one that could do all that stuff. And now I'm just like,
6 kids.
I got teenagers. Yep.
That's
Come
what
over here and fix this. I
That's
know
my
you
brain
know how to
says.
make this thing. That's like the VCR when you were a kid that always blinks 12 o'clock. I mean, nobody actually just give up. You just,
Does it-
you just
it
give
did
up.
that?
Jessica
So
remembers that.
yeah, I must say Jessica's like
Yeah.
17
so
years
we're
old.
not talking
I
about
know.
the 80s. on the
Were you
podcast.
born?
I was born in 92. So we're talking about anything
Wow.
after that is
Okay.
fair game.
I'm
But
sorry.
anything
Gotcha.
before that is not.
So
So you
there
missed out on the whole needing pliers to change the channel and all of that.
Yup.
The tinfoil rabbit.
The glory
ears.
days. I
Those-
wasn't here.
those were the good old days.
What year
Yeah.
were we in college when she was born?
90.
Um,
I started college in 90.
I started in the fall of '91. So what was when's your birthday, Jessica?
Well, she might not want to say.
Or just a month? Just a
Uh,
month.
Oh, May
So,
of 1992.
Because all 6 listeners will be like, we're going to send Jessica a birthday
Social
gift.
security number, Jessica.
Yeah, guys, send me birthday messages, but don't try to like steal any of my information.
So, so this is the actual legit
So I
question.
was a freshman in college when you were born, and she was a sophomore.
Because you old as dirt, man. That's why you old as dirt.
That I'm older than you.
So this got me thinking.
What about you?
Okay.
This has come up before. What is this something that people who are older than other people are fascinated by? Because you just don't hear anybody who's like 10, 15 years younger than someone being like, do you know I was born when you went to that concert? At the same time. There's no way. Like, you just don't hear younger people drawn to these things.
Because you will be. You will be.
Okay.
When you get older,
This
you'll be
is
like,
the future.
you'd be like, I remember back when NSYNC was a thing. Like, I remember when NSYNC and back, that's going to be
I
you.
love that oldies Nirvana.
Exactly. That's going to be you in about 10 years. You'll be like, reminiscing.
I'm so attractive in 10 years, and I'm like crunched over, and my voice is weird.
Exactly. Like,
This is a lot to look forward to.
I remember that Nick Jonas guy. I remember him. He was a boy, but you're gonna have that. You'll be sounding like that here,
Okay.
like smoking
Apparently, you're going
That's
to
the
take up
future.
smoking and
Yeah.
5 packs a day.
a pack of Capris.
Every now
Gargle,
and then.
gravel, and things like that. So, Jessica,
Well, this is a question I had. This is
Yeah.
actually a question, Jessica.
Oh, okay.
So, as an actress, right? You've got some notoriety out there. You started doing some bigger movies.
she has her own website.
Has her own website and stuff. So, do you find that there are some weirdos that will be like, "Oh, I really think like I really want to know you, Jessica." Like, how? Like, did you ever have that happen?
I mean,
Yeah.
besides
Wow.
John.
I mean, that's different. That's just so weird. I'm just a different kind of weirdo.
He is, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, very different level. I battle all the time with keeping my messages restricted or open on Instagram, on Facebook, because there are just some gems of people
some gyms.
who are like, you are the one.
Oh, wait. Okay, good. That was a very long
Wow.
pause after the you. I was like, I ain't messaged you one time on Facebook.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
Well, in the group chat.
Yeah.
But that was all. Group chat was great. I love a good group chat. Maybe that's what these people need to do. Maybe they all need to get together and be like, we have this group liking of this girl.
There you
Let's
go.
all write her in a group chat. And maybe it'll feel a little less weird that way.
Maybe.
Have you considered
Maybe.
having like maybe a publicist, somebody like between you and them to check those like you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't come directly to you.
I'm so fascinated by them. So I check
Their
them
material.
all.
This is
You welcome them. You welcome them.
I-
You put a little feelers out there like, oh, today I'm feeling lonely or something. You just wait to get everything. I don't know. Like,
I would not say it's to that
maybe
level
not.
yet. And I
Okay.
hope I'd start therapy long before that level. But like, I definitely am just so curious. Like, I'm fascinated. It's like the whole Tiger King obsession. Like,
yeah.
it's
Oh, we went
fascinated
there.
by the level of
Craziness.
what's the word I want to choose?
Craziness.
Sure, craziness. That some
Craziness.
people just operate on a daily basis, and I can't look away.
It's a train wreck.
Train wreck.
I'm like, I gotta see it. I gotta see it happen. And it's so mesmerizing.
See, I understand. There's like this. I have a fascination with delusional people. I have this weird fascination with them that literally, like,
Chrissy wants to speak.
she's like,
I'm just concerned where it's going. But go ahead, baby.
I'm not gonna go into names. I can name some, but I have this, like, I really love messing with them in the sense of like just finding out how far down the rabbit hole I can go with them. It makes me like, I don't know. Maybe it's something wrong with me. Maybe I need some therapy, but it makes me feel more sane. I don't know. But I like to go down the rabbit hole with them. There was this guy that came to one of a church meeting we had and talked with him, and he was like talking about the aliens and the third star from the moon that talks to him, and I was like,
John will just put out these little things to just poke and see how far it'll go, and so it can go on for days or weeks sometimes. Random people, we don't even know them half the time, and he'll just keep going. It'll be like, oh look, he emailed back, let me think about this one. I'm like, oh my gosh,
it's kind of fun.
True.
Anyway,
everyone in fact needs a hobby.
Exactly. Delusional people are fun. Anyway, so I feel you there, Jess. I feel you there, and so I'm with you.
Now I do get worried about like getting into trouble.
What do you mean getting into trouble?
Like I don't want anyone to ever think like I egged them on. So like I won't respond.
Gotcha.
I just read.
But
I won't go in the rabbit hole. I'll just look at it.
It's a nice rabbit hole.
So much better. Look at the crazy people.
Move that grass around. I'm not going to move the grass around, but I'm just going to
watch and see what runs out. Yeah.
See, John's different.
Just see if anything hops out of there.
Exactly.
John's different. He does like a running cannonball and right into the hole and just like, come on, people, and just, he'll egg them on. Really? Was you sure it was the third moon and not the second one that was talking to you? Because I know another guy who said you're wrong. Oh, and just, he'll just.
That is so
you know how to press all the buttons.
Yeah.
They're fun. I mean,
that's a science. Wow. I admire you.
I'm a giver. I'm a giver. You know what I'm saying? I'm a giver. Yeah. I'm a giver.
Instigator.
It is what you're doing though. Like you are actually giving these people a gift because everyone else thinks they're insane, but you're indulging them a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm indulging.
This is the kindest thing I've ever heard of someone.
Exactly. See, I'm a kind
really
guy.
Sick and twisted. Really kind.
All right.
So anyway,
Jessica, transitioning to your career. Let's talk about that for a moment. And instead of John's haranguing of helpless schizophrenic people. Why?
Hey, I don't know if they're schizophrenic. You don't know if they're schizophrenic. They just may be. They may be
smell
lonely.
Schizophrenic from here.
They may be lonely. They just need somebody to talk to.
All right. So, yeah. So for our folks who are still listening, as we said, Jessica is an actress. Big role recently. Breakout, I guess, in a sense, was Thy Neighbor. Was acting. I know you've been in other things. Was acting something you always wanted to do, or did you kind of fall into it, or how did that happen?
I always wanted to do it, but I didn't know I always wanted to do it. I was not a curious child. I did not ask questions because I just didn't have questions to ask. But my mom had me memorizing Bible verses at a very young age. And my sister and I would get in front of like an 1,000-member church congregation and recite Psalms and Bible verses, and different Sunday school classes would be like, oh, have these two girls come in and do a Bible verse for class because it's so impressive. Or monologues. People would bring us in to do little monologues or motivational speeches that we memorized. So it was something that I was memorizing and performing at a very young age. But I always, the first career path I wanted for myself was Tinkerbell.
Like actual Tinkerbell, or like to play
actual Tinkerbell?
Okay.
I was going to be the little fairy who flew around with Peter.
That was Anthony's job too. That was Anthony's career goal too.
I aged out of it.
You grew out of it. I think I might have too, but I think it speaks to something deeper that I wanted. And every movie, everything I watched on TV, like whoever the strong female character was, whatever her career path was, that's what I wanted to be. I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a private investigator. I'm going to be that. Like, I just always wanted to be whatever that person was. Well, I think it was
warrior princess.
Yes. Still
Xena.
crossing my fingers on that one. Still waiting.
I want to be
I will be a
Xena.
warrior prince. Exactly. Well, I think it was my freshman year of high school. I was asking a girl, I started looking at colleges really early and trying to figure out what I wanted to be, because all I knew was like girls could be teachers and boys usually were engineers, and there was an option to be a doctor. But it kind of was anyone could be a doctor. It didn't have to be a girl or boy. So I was like looking at teacher or doctor and was like, that's so limited. I don't really want to do either of those things, but those are what people are. And I was asking a girl what she wanted to do, and she was like, oh, well, I'm going to be an actress. And I was like, that's an option? That's a career path? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, but you can't like study it in school. And she's like, yeah, you can. And I was like, that's when I knew what I was going to do. That's when it all clicked for me.
See, then you can be Tinkerbell, you can be a doctor, you can be an engineer.
Exactly. I can be all of those things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
For a couple of weeks, you can be all of them. It's good.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the it's see
Do
that
it.
now all like
It's so fun.
See, that's one thing that we that little known. I'm making it known. I put out my audition tape for this new movie by George. Right, I put it out.
Stop! You did?
I did. I put it out there.
What role?
For Pastor Bill, and got passed over. He was like, nope, you done. You sucked so bad.
But not to be fair, like the guy he chose is really funny.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
really funny guy.
I want to. Can you send me your audition?
Yeah.
Will you do it for us right now?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's not allowed.
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe I can't.
It's probably not allowed.
It's still casting process, and so probably can't.
There might be confidential or something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But send it.
But John is used to sing tapes of himself to random women, so
it's just exactly. Usually
I'm used to opening stuff like that, so this is perfect.
So it's usually me in a leotard, though. That's it, though. Usually this is more of a serious kind of
that tiger.
Exactly.
So just like for future notice when you audition, if you're in a leotard, that may or may not be why you didn't get moved on to the next phase of casting.
It depends on the role.
They just didn't like what they saw.
I mean,
Poor Chrissy. If you're watching this online, John's wife right now, Chrissy, is just like
it's tuned out. I'm used to
safe
it.
word.
Yeah. I'm actually at the point now where I just watch him go down the rabbit hole.
Just spiral.
Throw some snacks.
Bye.
Sit back with some
Palomino.
popcorn.
If at any point you feel unsafe, just say Palomino.
It's our safe
That's
word.
the code word.
The word? That's a hard safe word.
You won't.
Never
you won't
mind.
say it lightly if it's a difficult word.
Exactly. There you go. You want me to say it randomly? Because when are you ever going to say Palomino in a normal sentence?
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Unless you're talking about a horse. Yeah, exactly. Talking about a
I don't
horse.
know what it means.
It's a horse breed, woman. Like what? What are you
I
talking
don't
about?
know that either.
Oh man, what? Where
Write
y'all
that
from?
down.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
for the next
Thank you.
segment. The next segment that'll be in that.
The more John talks, the more I feel the need to distance myself from the things he's saying in light of our current conversation about what women want.
It's fine, man.
Oh.
It's all right. See, I'm honest. I'm gonna just show you what's here. You know, that's it. That's it. That's just who I am.
What's that accent right now? You're
That's
doing an
my
accent. It's
southern
weird.
accent.
That is Mississippi.
That's my accent.
Okay. Okay.
Chrissy, where are you from? Remind me where you're from originally.
Florida.
Okay.
Much more cities and condos and whatnot. Not with palominos, horses, or cows, or
Western
whatever.
part
that
of the
stuff
state.
is.
See the like up around like Ocala.
Yeah.
There's horses there.
Sherry, tell it.
You just said Palomino. Are you in trouble?
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
We need to.
My bad.
Oh, I forgot it was the same. I was just interested in this word. It's very interesting to say.
You have to be careful how you use the safe word.
I know.
exactly. Yeah, you say
I mean, we'll like be there. You know.
it's like the scene in Avengers where all the female characters like team up and fight Thanos. That'll be like that. As soon as you say Palomino, they all just gang up and like bust in the door.
Yeah, it was a good scene. That was a great scene.
It was a good scene. I liked it. And what were we talking about? We digress. Oh, Jessica skipping church. That's what we're talking about. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
so, anyway, what were we talking about? We were distancing
talking about
yourself.
Jessica's acting career and how she became.
There we go. That's good.
Oh yes, yes.
What were we talking about?
Just gonna leave it there at that one. Just gonna be like, oh yes, that's what we're talking about.
That's what it was. Those
Well,
are good days.
I'll ask the question, kind of piggybacking on that. So, how long did it take you once you knew you wanted to do that to start to get roles where you were on film and stuff like that? Were you small at first? How did that all go down?
Since I was in the Midwest, I was able to hop into mostly lead or supporting roles right away when I started doing film work. I was in theater, more involved in theater at first, and then after college transitioned into film because of the network. I was around people who were working on films, and so through those connections, I was able to audition for more. And it was like, I've never done the extra route. I've never been an extra on set or worked my way up that way, just because of the nature of where I was, which I was pretty blessed to be in a place where I was able to audition for some of the bigger roles without as many hurdles.
Well, that's awesome. That's one thing. Like, we were talking with Matt last night. Last night for us, but and he was in 2 episodes of Lost as a extra, and I was shocked. I was like, oh man, this dude was in Lost, and realized he never seen the movie, he never seen the show. Dude was in the show and never watched it. So
he never watched Lost?
No, Joker never watched Lost, and so that was kind of shocking to me. But Anthony brought something like a lot of actresses and actors don't watch their own movies. Do you watch your own movie? Do you like to watch your stuff, like stuff you were in? Do you like to actually sit back and watch it, or like what do you? How do you like to handle those situations after you've made something?
That was 3 different questions, and there's a different answer for each of them.
Oh,
I sometimes like to watch my stuff. Sometimes. Thy Neighbor was one of the ones that was easier to watch because it had come out a couple years after my performance. So I wasn't so emotionally attached to every single choice, or I just wasn't as vulnerable watching myself perform as maybe I would be right after you get off set and you're so proud of all these choices you make, and then you watch them and you're like, that was not exactly, that just didn't translate the way I thought it was going to. And everything's so fresh. I felt like I was really able to sit back and enjoy that one and enjoy some of the elements of my own performance. And that was the first time I'd really experienced enjoying myself in a role.
That's like, so how did you, like, we'll go back to, we kind of talked about this earlier before we started recording, but like your choice in the hot tub scene. What happened there? Like, how'd you feel about that watching it on the playback?
This feels really personal. Are you tagging me?
Knowing that it was in the script for our
yes,
listeners,
it was in the script. I didn't put it in myself.
The actors and actresses don't necessarily get to make all the choices.
Thank you for understanding that. Yes. Yes.
So it does give us fodder to pick on you about.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Like when that cracker just jumped up in your hot tub, like, was they like, oh, there's a crazy guy in my hot tub. Like how did you, like, acting in that role?
It's going to be interesting to watch her navigate this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because as we said before, George cast a crazy guy. George found somebody on the side of the road that was like wandering around aimlessly with like 4 dead cats on his shoulder or something, and was like, "Hey, want to be in a movie?" And so how did you feel in that scene?
Well, we had to take all the cats out of the hot tub.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, good. That's
because
good.
it was just too. It was
Hygiene's
too
important.
Yeah, it was like and then so that was the first thing. Well, how did I feel as Jessica, or how did I feel as Amber?
As both. We'll go both.
Okay. We'll start with Amber.
Okay.
And then I'll say how Jessica would
All
feel if she were in that situation. So Amber is such a sweetheart. She's just trying so hard to do the right thing. And I don't know if she came from a background of being maybe a little bit more belligerent and then having to be talked down by her husband, like, hey, you have to be respectful or you have to be loving, or if she was just always really wanting to minister to the lost. But there's just this need that she has to see this person come to Christ. And for his sake, she knows that's something her husband wants, and she feels like she can be a help to him in that way. But it seems like one of those times where she looks and goes, okay, well, this is really uncomfortable for me, but I have to sacrifice that because this is the time you want to talk about Christ. And she doesn't see herself being manipulated because she has her own agenda, and this is kind of meeting her agenda a little bit. So she's willing to compromise maybe what would be a natural boundary for some people, because it is partially what she wants. She wants to talk about Christ with this person, and the timing isn't great and the situation's uncomfortable, but this is what they want. They're asking her to come meet them halfway. So she's willing to.
Amber felt like a rescuer to me a little bit. Like that's how I told George
of everybody.
Like that. Yeah. That's how to me she ended up with the husband.
Yeah.
To almost like just rescue him. So yeah.
See, when I was watching, me and Chris were watching the movie, I actually told her, I was like, I could see you doing that.
What do you think? Would you?
You can see me inviting some guy into the hot tub and be like, hey, let me tell you about Jesus.
Not necessarily about the hot tub, but
I want you to stop for a second. Are you saying that I am more of the type of person that would invite some stranger into the hot tub, or more of the one that really
wants to Admiral Akbar when
about Jesus? I'm just wondering which one.
I'm just saying, I think
that's why we're in different rooms, honey.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now I know.
Exactly.
I said earlier. Now I know.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, do tell.
No, what I'm saying is that you're a little on the undiscerning side of people's
good word motive.
Craziness.
Clearly, she married you.
Okay.
Case in point.
There you go.
I'm not denying it.
Right. It is. I am one of those that would be very quick to be like, "Hi, let me talk to you," blah, 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 and not realize that he's like holding a gun in the other hand or whatever. Because I'm not gullible, I'm not stupid, but I just don't always see the
craziness.
Discernment.
Let me defend my friend Amber for 1 second more. She invites him to use the hot tub in general, and then he takes his pants off.
That's true.
And gets in it. So she didn't invite him into the hot tub with her.
But she didn't jump out. She was like, hey.
He didn't jump out.
Cracker, get out my tub.
Because that would look bad.
And to be honest, he was in between her and the door, and he mistakenly
punch that joke in the throat.
Inviting him now, so now she's got the invitation to share Jesus, but the opportunity. But I can kind of feel her. I'm sorry.
See,
I don't have discernment.
See,
I feel like
hot tub though is kind of pushing it, but
Sherry, what would you do? I feel like I know what you do, but
yeah, Sherry, what would you do, Sherry?
This is being recorded. I don't think.
Please tell us. Please.
It would not happen.
It
would not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, to be honest, as soon as I would have seen him gone by, I would have shut the door, window, or something, or gotten down lower.
Get under the water.
He wouldn't see me. I would have hid behind something, put some earbuds. I would have actually probably avoided him because he didn't look right. And even for me to say that.
But and that goes to the second point. So how did Jessica deal with in a scene.
This is gonna be fun to watch.
With somebody like, I would say this, like we messing with by Dave, but that Joker played a really good part. Like he did a good job with creeping the crap out of somebody.
Yeah.
And he was that
Yeah.
awkwardness. He had all that awkwardness, and you go, wow, that's just it's that's what I said. Like it felt like a crazy. Like
he played it well.
George hired a crazy person, and so
and he actually chose to like method act around me on set. So the whole time he was in character. So Jessica also was very uncomfortable around Dave because he was always engaging with me on that like creepy but kind of nice but also like a little manipulative level, and that's just how he chose to approach the role and give me material for mine. So it was terrifying. But as far as what I would do in the hot tub situation, like I could very much empathize with Amber and what she did. Like I'm gonna be that person.
Thank you.
Yeah, if someone takes me out into a field and I see like a finger sticking out of the ground, I'm gonna kick dirt over it. So that they don't know I saw what they did.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Like, wait, is this like an actual experience you've had, Jessica? Like, is this something you've actually experienced? Like,
all right.
Like, this is like, who took you to the field, Jessica? When in your childhood did you go to the field and see this hand sticking out of the ground?
In her next film, she's going to play a Black Widow.
Exactly.
I'm wired to not want to make someone know that they're making me uncomfortable. And I think Amber was that same way. She didn't want the neighbor to know that what he was doing was actually really inappropriate. So I'll observe. I have the discernment.
Podcast right now.
That's why I keep asking. Like, this is why she's still hanging on. It's like, I really don't want to say how uncomfortable I am.
I have the discernment. I can sense the discomfort, but where I lack is like, how can I tactfully get out of the situation without hurting the person's feelings? Because I don't want them to know that I think they're a psychopath.
I can relate to you on that level. I can. Totally.
I probably would.
Like, I'm not more.
Yes.
Wow.
I had it happen to me recently. It's so funny.
Really? What happened?
Yeah, I was at a thing in a hotel, and I'm in a hot tub, and it's late. The pool's about to close, and another guy comes in, and he sits in the hot tub, and tells me his whole life story. And the whole time I'm like, I'm going to have to plan a really good phone call that I'm going to have to take to get out of this. He won't take a breath. And I'm like, he's bigger than me. He's stronger than me. I absolutely have to get out of this pool room. And then another one of his friends comes in. And that's when I was like, okay, time for my phone call. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go. And so I leave. But it took me 30, 40 minutes to come up with a way out of the situation. So Amber had Zach came to her rescue. Yeah. He came in and was like, this is not okay. And let her know that and set that boundary for her. But I don't want to look at someone and be like, you're a psychopath.
Well, see,
there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, there is something to unpack there. And that's one thing, because that's one of the things that we do. We train people how to defend themselves. And one of the things that situation screams to me is like all those things happen is indicators like this can go bad really quick. I need to get out of there quick. And so sometimes you have to have that, like, I got to go, sorry, and get the crap out and create that distance.
Yeah.
And you got to hurt somebody's feelings sometimes to do that because, like you said, you're smaller. This guy's bigger. You're in an unknown situation.
Look, you could have got his head underwater.
Yeah, it would. But the idea though is that you just have those indicators that something's happening. You need to get out of there. And so anybody, like, if there's any women listening to this podcast, when you have those creep alarms go off, listen to it.
Listen to them.
Listen to your creep alarms and get out.
In your gut is truth.
And guys, look, it should go without saying. Do not get your narrative in a hot tub with some woman that you do not know. All right? Like, even if you are the nicest guy in the world and you have the nicest intentions, it's creepy. Stay out of them hot tubs.
Especially you at night and you're the only one there. You're like hey, have a little sense, You're going to say something, Chrissy? Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
No, I was just saying that's a good point. I would say out of all the girls and stuff that we've trained, or I've trained and whatnot, I would say that's one of the biggest things for us females, is that we don't want to feel bad, or we don't want to assume or let them know that we're assuming they're a bad guy or whatever, because then we feel bad because he might be just some Pastor George over here, and we're like, oh, it's all right, So it is a hard thing for a lot of women, I think. And some people are really good at saying, no, screw that. This is uncomfortable. I'm gone. And then others, do struggle with that. Like, I don't want to be rude. And I will say that I know better and I still struggle with it. And I think God made me a little bit more or less able to discern and more willing to have, I don't want to say faith in people or whatever, but
you're a little more gracious.
That also, yes,
a little more gracious,
and that causes me to also not want to be rude, But yes, I have been in situations like that, and it did go on too long, and where I felt I don't want to hurt this guy, but at the same time, I do not feel comfortable. So I would say to those women, push through that. It isn't easy, and get out of there. Get out of there.
Train.
Yeah.
Train. Go train. Because if you don't think I'll do this, when it comes down to it, you ain't trained it. You ain't gonna do it.
No.
So go train. So anyway, that's my shameless plug for people going to do defense.
Well, we actually, that was amazing. Did y'all catch how we segued like seamlessly into like what women wish men knew and stuff? See that's how the sausage is made. Right?
There you go.
This is how the magic happens.
There you go.
Wow.
And Sherry, my lovely little wife, I liked it. She's more like no. I mean, she's sweet 4'11" and a half little lady. She needs to get out of Dodge in those situations. But just she shared this with me one time, and I thought it was so telling. And guys, I want you to listen to me in all seriousness. Guys' biggest fear when they encounter a woman typically is she might laugh at me. A woman's biggest fear is he might kill me. And I mean, I know I'm not trying to get dark, but seriously, there's a different level of reality that we need to think about when we interact with ladies, even as Christian men. I'd say especially as Christian men, we have a responsibility to be an example. And I know that I see guys do things sometimes. I'm like, bruh, come on now.
You being creepy as crap. Stop being creepy. If you are hugging, like, I'm a hugger. I like to hug people, but I'm like, if I don't know you, you getting a handshake. Now, you don't run up and start hugging somebody you don't know, right? Even if you're at church.
Even I was gonna say, even in church,
like, hey, how you doing? Do the Christian side hug. I do the Christian side hug all the time. Like, that's just my go-to is the Christian side hug. Even people I know, but that's the like, don't be creepy.
Frontal, chest to
chest. I can't do chest to chest.
I am not.
Like chest to chest.
With the guys, it's always the bro hug.
Yeah,
and bros know what I'm talking about. The bro hug. And I don't know that I hug ladies at church like at all. Period.
Not unless they start to hug him, and it's then like this kind of side,
like the Christian side hug.
let me say something.
Mhm.
We're supposed to be the affectionate ones, but guys are way better at hugging. Like you actually have
That's
like this
interesting.
man hug,
Yeah.
and we just have like weird, like squishy elbow, collarbone, smash face stuff. That's awful. Why? How did you brand this, and how can we brand one for ourselves?
You got it. There's a couple ways you got to do it. There's a method to the bro hug. One, you got to shake hands first. And then you got to pull it in, right? You got to pull it in,
I love it.
and then it's 2 taps on the back. Not on the side. You got to do front. Not on the side. You got to do the front.
We're side by side.
The way we're
so,
sitting
yeah,
is
Well, I mean, say, but you got to
stand up and demonstrate.
Yeah, stand up and demonstrate. Stand up and demonstrate. Stand up and
I
demonstrate.
don't think she wants to do that.
All right.
Oh.
So
That's
you tap on the back, and you got to make sure your pelvis is pushed out. You can't have no pelvic interaction at all. You got to make sure that's way away from each other, because then this is awkward. And so so
that would be for both genders, I would say.
Yeah, I'm saying about that dude hugs is you got to have the bro, but you got to make sure your butt's back a little bit. So you don't no inadvertent contact. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of
been an interesting night. I feel like I've learned so much. I really, honestly think that it's obvious to all men that when they approach us, that we're sitting there hoping they don't murder us. Like I just thought that was. I guess I never said it out loud, but it's such a common thought. Like, oh, I really hope this person isn't going to rape or kill me. But when you said a minute ago, you were like, hey guys, a lot of times you're worried about women laughing at you, but they're standing there worried about you killing them. Like that's not known. Like I thought that was common sense. And so that's interesting to learn. And you guys got an amazing like technique down to the spot on hugging. Why haven't you done? Why is it so awkward with us then? Can we figure out a good one to know? Like, hey, this is a woman. We only get one on the side. Done. Shake now. Like why have we not narrowed that down?
Yeah,
because y'all crazy. Because all women crazy. I'm just saying that's why. Because y'all haven't figured that out yet. Y'all just
But we don't have a code. Girls don't have codes. Guys have codes.
Yeah,
so everything you described about your hug fits into your code.
Exactly.
Whereas, like, if we had a code, maybe we'd know how to hug too.
Yep. Because
I thought women had codes.
Yeah, y'all got bathroom codes. Y'all got like I gotta go pee, come with me code.
Yes. 10 of you are coming.
Exactly. Y'all got something like that, right?
That is true. I think you can have that with certain close girls. Like I have a couple of friends, like we can hug and there's no awkwardness. It's just like, girl, I haven't seen you forever. I can wrap my leg around her, be like, I miss you, or whatever. But we don't have like a systematic go to church. We know exactly how to hug every single person. It's like, oh, our close ones, we can be all chest to chest, like, what's up, girl? But not like systematically with everyone.
I'll give you one, Chrissy.
Leg wrap, no leg wrap.
No.
Well, I'm gonna give you how to shut down an unwanted hug, ladies. Are you ready?
Ooh, yes, I'm in.
This is what I do, John. I don't know if you do this. A lot of times the dude, they'll like shake your hand and then they'll pull you in for the hug. If you like do this number,
reach
like
with your other
reach
hand.
with your other hand, on top, like we're Native American.
Yeah.
Like,
but
this block them now. They're not coming in for the rest of the hug.
Could be.
I always worked for me.
That's good.
Again, though, unless you're one of those women where even though you're sitting there saying, I really hope he doesn't kill me. Oh, great, he wants to hug now. Okay, I better not be rude.
Yeah. And that thing is like shoulder check.
I don't think that works.
Yeah.
Because the people, like the guys that try and hug me, they always come up from behind on the side. I don't even see them. And then all of a sudden, like someone's touching me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
All right, fellas, that is not acceptable.
Take care of that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too. I guess
that is not acceptable.
Technique that
I call that assault.
I'll have to talk later.
Yeah. That's where training comes in. Be like,
seriously,
back up off me, man. Back up. There's some things we can do from there.
I've almost taken a couple of my kids and thrown them across the living room because they came up too abruptly behind me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's good. So, like, do you randomly have just people you don't know run up behind you and hugged you?
Not like run. No, it's like
Going to
they're
Walmart
like,
must be a challenge.
Exactly. Like just randomly. Like, what world do you live in? Like, wow. And how do I get to that world?
It's really scary over here. It's terrifying. It's just like constantly people are trying to touch you.
And like message your Instagram and then like running behind you and touching you and stuff.
They'll just be standing there like, oh, hey, how you doing? And then all of a sudden they're like, they're just touching you. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Normal people start a conversation like with eye contact and like by walking up to a person, not by sneaking, but there's just maybe some not so normal people.
Like you hit on something, Jessica, very important that like you ladies are saying things that men need to know that women wish men knew that you're not even realizing. Eye contact. I was a teacher for years, teacher, coach, youth pastor, all that stuff, because you do 10 jobs. And I remember there was in all seriousness, there was this one lady on our staff that she told me one day, she said, what I appreciate about you, when you talk to me, you look me in the eyes. And that is so important, guys. Like their eyes are up here.
See, I'm gonna go to the same thing with women. Like, hey, don't be looking at the beard. My eyes are up here. Don't be looking down here.
They're looking at the food that's still in the beard.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The bird that's coming out.
Like, do you want us to tell you that there's food there, or would you just rather us just look at your eyes?
Just look at my eyes. Just let it go. Like it's just like if my wife's walking around at Walmart and she got some like a chicken nugget stuck in her boob or something. Like I don't want no dude be like, hey, I'm looking at your boob, the chicken nugget there. Just look at her in the eye. Just look at her in the eye. Be like, hey, look, and then let me tell her, like, oh, baby, you got a chicken nugget hanging out your boob.
Really good point.
In Thailand, it's an actual nugget of a chicken too.
Like
a little baby bird.
I'm saving it for later,
Exactly.
Yeah, get hungry around here.
Oh, that's sad. Now I'm sad.
I have to hoard my food.
You got 6 kids. They eat everything.
That part's true.
We have had so many baby birds die at our house. It's like a funeral parlor for baby birds. Because you talk about baby birds, like
Jessica.
It was.
Okay. Wait. Let's back up for a second there.
Do you find them outside?
Yes.
They find us. They land in our yard after a storm or whatever. Our kids go outside and they're like, "Mom, save it!" And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Like half his head's missing. They're like, and they're like, "Come on, you save it, Mom!" Like,
Mommy, you're the only one that can do it. Save it, Mom.
It's dead, man. Like, it's still chirping. Like so, yeah. We have buried so many little birds in this house. It's almost like the dead cats for Dave. We got this dead bird just buried everywhere in the backyard.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So is that one of the things that you guys wish men knew? Maybe, like, I don't know, you can't breathe life into everything.
I feel like you were on something there a minute ago when you said the eye thing, because I feel like there's some people that have that idea in their head that nobody sees them, like they're in their own corner where they're picking their teeth or ears or nose or whatever it is, and then they don't think anybody's watching. I think those are the same people that when they're talking to you, they're like, "Oh, she doesn't notice if my eyes drop down to her bit." Like we do notice. Like we see you in the corner of Walmart picking your teeth or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you're not so hidden. But I think it is just like what.
No, go ahead. No, I'm just saying. Like, it seems like everybody we're talking about, like every dude's a creep. Like every dude's not a creep, man. Like
well, in our mind, you're creeps until otherwise proven.
Otherwise, absolutely, yes.
Well, you asked us what we think, how we feel. We walk around.
That's fine. That's fine.
As the weaker, that's usually how our brains go. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not standing out here, a weak person or whatnot. I'll kick the butt. But I mean, the point is that it is a natural instinct for us to come at a guy that way first, or at least for me. What about you girls?
I don't look for it. I don't expect it. Like, every time I'm approached, I have like the first thought, like, oh, are they going to kill me? It's like a couple seconds in when they've done something. And I'm like, oh, are you going to kill me? Or like, am I going to get abducted? Like what, like, how can I plan? What can I do? I need to fix this. But like when someone at church comes up to me and, I'm covered from head to toe in fabric. And then they are like, hey, how are you doing? And they're like 70 and looking me up and down as they're trying to talk to me. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. I do not understand. Like, I want to call them on it and be like, you just looked me up and down. I'm married.
And it's like he's doing
right over
it,
there.
and yeah. And
you're at church
doing it almost like you don't notice it. Like, how do you do that?
That's the thing. Like, how do you not think I see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you?
Because guys think they got
That's what I was
game.
saying. Like, they're over in the corner of the room and nobody sees them. It's like,
so Sherry, what about you? What do you think? How do you think when you're like, is everybody a potential rapist creep that you meet, or is it like a gray area? Is there a sliding scale? Like
I'll say I am more naturally skeptical that rather than trusting of everyone. You have to gain my trust instead of me just naturally trusting you and assuming the best. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it's just kind of the way.
Some of that could be because, I mean, John and Chrissy, what they do, they fight human trafficking, sex trafficking specifically. Sherry and I, kind of been in tune with that for a long time. I have, not to the degree he does, but a martial arts background too. And so, I mean, I've always been like really kind of hyper vigilant maybe, and had to work with that a little bit and not be so hyper vigilant. And I think maybe I've passed some of that on to Sherry. I don't know. Or she may have been like that.
I think I've always been more like that.
Yeah.
But
and I think
that's not necessarily a good thing.
She's
but
still out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too. So like
you weren't a creep. Yay.
Exactly. Yay. So for our single guys out there, right, who are trying to find a mate, who are trying to find somebody to spend at least their, the next couple months with, or the next couple years with, or their life with. They're trying to, to find somebody. What would like be a way? What are you guys looking for? What is women, as the three representative of all womankind? What is women looking for in a dude? Like, what are the traits that you go, this person is somebody that I don't, I will trust to allow them to come talk to me, to hang out. Like, what's your advice to the young budding man who is looking for a woman to woo into court?
I love how this segued from crazy people's site,
yes,
because now it's like, wait a minute, oh yeah, there are some good ones out there.
There are some good ones out there,
right?
It's just funny how that happened. But,
it very naturally segued too.
Exactly.
Right. Very good.
We're professionals.
Exactly.
Like,
we're really good at this.
But now we're okay with men. Okay.
Traits of adults.
What's that? Traits of what?
Possessing traits
we
of
prefer
an adult.
for women to date adults.
Yes, please do not date non-adults. That's takeaway number one.
But if you are an adult, work on, instead of looking for a partner, work on cultivating adult skills.
Such
live
as
on your own.
Oh, so don't live in mom and dad's basement until you're 40?
Don't live in anybody's basement. Live on your own. Do your own dishes. Have your own name on your bank account. Know what insurance coverage you have. Pay for your own insurance coverage.
And I know a guy who can help with that.
We know a guy who can help with that, so reach out.
Like, I'm sensing how personal this is. Like there's been some
It's-
backstory to this.
It's something I'm seeing around me in all my peers, and I'm so confused by it.
Really?
That I'm confused by it, or that I
No, that you're seeing your peers. That you're seeing your peers. Like, what are you seeing?
Just this I don't know if it's a fear or a complacency, but like an unwillingness to learn, not desiring to learn these things or make habits, or just like fighting, but I don't want to do that. Well, that's being a grown up. I thought you learned it as a kid when like you were told to do a lot of things. Like you think we'd all be wired to like know to do stuff that we don't want to, but we have to because we're adults now.
Yeah,
but,
like
well, don't want to.
And that would go to to parenting a little bit too. Like maybe some parents need to be whooping some tail and growing up some youngins, which goes back to your movie.
Yes.
Exactly. In the scene where you're telling that youngin to like come up the stairs, she's like, no. I'm like, no, no. My kid would have been like 2 weeks before that. My kid would have been like, oh no, I ain't going. He wouldn't be able to in that person's house because he wouldn't be able to walk. He would not be able to walk to the next door neighbor because his butt would be tore up. Be like, no, I ain't coming. No, you coming now. And so so anyway, that was something that just to throw out there. If you want your kids, parents, if you got young kids and you want them to actually get married, whoop them every now and then and teach them.
Yeah, if you don't want your kid living in your basement.
Yeah.
There
you go.
Act now, my friend.
Exactly. Act now. Act now. Chrissy, what do you think? What is your ideal mate besides this?
Oh, I know.
What is something you would tell?
I mean, that right there. Come on. Sheesh. I would say it's funny to hear somebody who's younger than me talk about it and stuff because we're talking about a different generation too, well, not by that far, but like, as you were saying, a lot of these guys are living in their basements and whatnot and with their mom or whatever. And that's interesting for me to hear because it wasn't necessarily that way with all the guys that I knew back in the day.
You knew no guys back then. You only knew me. That's it. There's no other guys.
That's right, Debbie. That's right. I was talking about my
Small
brother,
sample.
my cousin,
gotcha.
family.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, there's
good. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think I think that is important. Oh well, we got to obviously call out the Jesus card. I mean, if they're a Christian, that's got to be number one. We move. That's got to be said. Okay, now let's move on. But in all actuality, if they are a Christian, true Christian, not that every once in a while
practicing Christian,
type, yeah, then all those things, nothing else really matters. Everything else goes with it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I always had less of people living in their basements and more
living out the car.
More, yeah, right. Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
sounds right.
Yeah,
I'm out. I'm on his house. Where you living at? In my '92 Chevy. That's where I'm at. It's out back. What you got, Sharon? What's your advice to the young budding men's out there looking for some sweet partnerships?
The biggest things for me is that they have a sense of humor. Sorry. Yes. John's got his hands raised. Anthony's over here raising his hand. Not to take life just too seriously and not be able to laugh at yourself. Mm-hmm. Or even others if the occasion calls for it. But just kidding. But
no, you're not. We make fun of people all the time.
Laughing at somebody else. Yes. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's real life.
Exactly.
Yes. No, but just having a sense of humor and not being so serious all the time. That's something that I would say that was probably one of the first things that actually attracted me to Anthony is that he just made me laugh. And I think that's an important thing.
It's us jolly fat men that get all the ladies. We pull leg that way.
But it's true.
We
I
pull
was
leg.
just thinking, Sherry, I was the same way. He made me laugh. He knew how to just break down my wall by just being able to just be real and just make me laugh and make me feel good about it. And that was the thing that, I mean, look at him, you know. So yeah, it was definitely.
Wait, what? That's backhanded. That was like.
He was nodding his head yes, and it was like, what? Wait, what?
Man, no. See, she could be fronting like that on me.
Oh,
I was 6-pack up, like stinking like Marine with my jarhead haircut, just cut up my blues. Man, she couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle that at all, man.
Bring that. I think the temperature's rising in here. Bring it down.
Guys, there's more. Don't let yourselves go. You know, don't get married and let yourselves go. Super important.
Hey, wait. Hold up. Wait, what?
Just can I get a virtual high five, hon?
That's fantastic.
No, I think humor is so important. I actually went from thinking my husband was the scum of the earth from when we had first met to hearing him tell a funny story and being like, he might be a person worth knowing from a funny story he told. And now we're married. So humor is huge. And if you can, don't just think of it as like being funny or like, oh, I have to study stand-up so that I can get a woman. That's not what we're trying to say here. But being able to infuse conflict with humor, being able to infuse everyday life and the stuff that's going to go wrong and the problems. Like if you can approach those from like, hey, let's work on this together. Let's have fun. Let's be fun together versus I'm stressed. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how to figure it out. Now I'm mad. Like let fun and funny be your go-to, not anger. And the more skills, the more things you can learn now, the more things, and this is true for women too, the more things we can practice and learn. You have to learn how to learn and how to go through life with someone. And marriage relationships are learning another person and living with another person. And it may seem fun, but there are really hard times. And the fun and the learning and being good at learning is what's going to get you through that. So the more things you can hone now, the more skills you can develop and be like, I'm going to learn an instrument. I'm going to go over here and figure out how to rock wall climb. Like the more things you can just learn, the easier it's going to be for you to learn another person and transition into life with them and have fun and not ruin each other.
So Napoleon Dynamite was right. Nunchuck skills are useful to wooing women.
I mean that movie is pretty much just a blueprint for relationships in general.
Exactly, it is. It is. Pretty much is.
I have not seen it, but I don't know if I believe you.
What? You've not seen Napoleon Dynamite?
I haven't. Should I do it?
You need to go watch that today because you skipped church. Exactly, because you skipped church. Your penance is to go and watch Napoleon Dynamite.
Sounds really workspace, but I'll do it.
I feel like you're going to lose a couple of IQ points when you're done watching it, but
it is.
I do too. Amazing. I think that's why I put it off this long.
It is amazing.
Stand a whole generation.
Exactly.
Really?
It is amazing. It is well worth sitting down and watching. But
and you learn some important self-defense principles.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Exactly.
I need those.
Exactly.
You guys have really inspired me in that. Like I need that. I've felt that since I was like 8. I need self-defense skills.
There you go.
Yeah, especially if you're hopping in bathtub or hot tubs. I know.
It's a little different.
That much, you guys.
Come on in the bathtub, honey. Come on. You want to talk about Jesus? Just jump on in with me.
Oh my goodness. But isn't that, to me, it's just so indicative. Like that's what I loved about Thy Neighbor and what I always really connected with within this script was just this conflict of Evie and Zach and the church and everyone's pressuring Zach to save this person's soul.
Right.
And that's what their focus is on. No one's focus is on saving your own or protecting yourself. No, you have to do everything. You have to compromise that. We all have to be martyrs. And I love that thy neighbor explored that and dug into it. And I learned so much just from being Amber for those couple months about the pressures of the church, pressures I was putting on myself because I thought God wanted me to, but he wasn't asking me to do that. Other people were asking me to do those things.
Yeah, it's good.
Then it's
good.
It's sad.
Sure.
There is that tension in the body of Christ, to where to draw the line between, safety. We had John Correa on. It's been a little while now. Who's with a organization? He has an organization called Active Self Protection, and we talked about that moment you cross over, moving into that place of needing to protect versus understand. I think that we have to take, just me personally, we have to take a fully balanced view of Scripture. And while yes, there are martyrs in Scripture, there's also plenty of instances in Scripture where we're told to be as wise as serpents, harmless as doves. A man who does not provide for his family is worse than an infidel, and I think that goes even to protection. And even over the wisest man who ever lived said, "There's a time to kill." I mean, not to go dark on you there.
You just took that all
there, Jessica.
No, my husband would jump on that. He would love what you just said.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing we talked about. It was a segment we talked about with John, was that Jesus was capable of violence. He was not a violent man, but he was capable of violence. He fashioned a whip and premeditatedly went in, made a whip and went in and threatened violence to the people in the temple and ran them out. And so that was something that was, that we miss a lot, in the sense of there is a difference between being a violent person and being capable of violence. And that's something that I think that everybody should have some way of being capable to handle themselves, to protect themselves, to protect those they love, to protect yourself. And that's something that was funny, that in the movie that I wanted to throw. You asked Chrissy, I wanted to throw something at you in the movie. Was you're like, why do you have a gun? Why is there a gun in this house? I was like, oh man, I was like, why are they gonna do this? I'm like,
I know.
And so George had a really colorful answer for that. So
it was really good that George did that, though, because.
Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna, it was good that George did that, because it probably sparked conversations, in community, and I thought he did a good job of trying to hit things that are hot button topics for people in that. So I appreciate it. We can't say too much because we want you guys to actually go watch it. We don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, you got to watch it.
Now that you know that there's a scene with Jessica in a hot tub in it, like
not a bathtub, not a bathtub,
not a bathtub, not a bathtub scene.
All these guys have quit listening to us and are already on Amazon. So.
Where is this bathtub scene?
I looked up Jessica in the bathtub scene. I can't find that anywhere.
Yo, Twitter feed gonna have a lot of those freaky messages after this podcast.
I'm just like, wow, how many Instagram and Facebook messages am I gonna have from this? Yeah. I can't wait. Lots of rabbit holes.
Funny, if you want 6. John to follow down that rabbit hole,
yes, I'll pass people over to him. You could be the publicist.
There you go. That'd be good. That'd be good.
Huh,
just give me access to your account. We're fine. We're good. I'll take care of it.
I'm scared. Kind of scared.
All right, so we got humor. All right, so
all right, humor.
Yeah.
Being an adult.
What else?
Yes.
Being an adult, like actually, not living in a basement, being on your own, being able to stay on your own 2 feet, get a job, be a man. So that's 1. 2. Now this is the question too. Like y'all, you said, get a job, be a man, those kind of things. Well, you say be a man, but there's this thing that seems to be happening in this in your generation, maybe in this generation coming up, this man bun, stinking, skinny jeans and can't change a tire and purple green hair, like what if like women in your generation and a little bit younger, like, do y'all find that attractive? Like, what about that? Like, is attractive? Like, do you guys, like, does young generation like want men? When you say you want a man, like, what does that mean? Like, you want like a burly bear? You want like you want somebody that's gonna be like a baby faced, like put a wig on him, looks like a chick. Like, what's it seems to be a mixed message, because I've actually had to deal with this with some of the guys that actually work for me, like trying to figure out, like, what do women want, man, in this this kind of age. What are they looking for? They want more feminine, they want more manly. Like, what have you seen, and what do you guys think as three different representatives of the female persuasion?
Who wants to go first?
I don't like the man bun.
Jerry was happy when I cut my man bun. I will say that.
You had one?
Yes.
You had a man bun? Oh my gosh.
Please give me pictures.
I'm working on one right now.
Please give me pictures of that, please.
Yeah,
I will. I'll send you pictures.
Well, you have to have context. First off, I looked like a Viking. That was my deal. Mine was like, but I did it like
in your mind. You look like a Viking.
I can see it. I can totally see it.
It was a
don't humor him, Jessica. Don't give him he'll grow it back. After he'll grow it back.
He should.
No, Jerry will not let me grow it back.
His daughter has threatened to cut it off if he does.
It'd be like that scene in Last Samurai where the guy's cutting off the top knot of the.
Hey, I wept. I wept when he cut that off, because that had a lot of But no, I was a teacher at the time, and I taught middle school. And my particular school.
You were trying to fit in.
Well, no, it was. You could, if you want to say that, that's fine. But it was more because, in all seriousness, like a lot of my kids, I was like the only dad figure they had, and several of my guys that I was real close with, it was started as a joke between us, and then like 6 of us, like me and 5 other of my guys, all grew our hair that way, and we literally walked this, like, I had this little tribe of guys that like walked the halls with me, and it was the funniest thing, John.
All
right, so look,
a little tribe of man buns walking around.
But look, hey man,
with some skinny jeans,
whatever,
and some Doc Martens.
I had to wear like the skinny khakis. But the funniest thing was, without telling any of them, we went home for Thanksgiving break, and I shaved my beard and like cut my hair short. And so I came back that next Monday, and I was standing outside my classroom, and one by one they came walking down the hallway, and they were walking, and they just stopped, like, and just stared, like, what do we do? Like,
did we have to cut it?
He cut his hair. What do we do? They did, one by one. They all cut their hair. But it was just a fun, crazy thing we did for a bit. I don't know.
Whatever you have to do.
Well, I love that there was an army of you.
There was a squad.
I'm thinking more like a cult. They drink the Kool-Aid.
I did, in fact, have my own little school.
Anthony was a cult leader in middle school. That's what.
I am certain there were teachers who thought I was.
Yeah.
We all think you were.
Exactly. Did y'all
Who is this? We got to make some phone calls before the next podcast.
You're like, can we go? We need to check your references, Anthony. We're gonna put your office on hold for a little bit.
Oh my gosh, you need to do a podcast with the whole army of man bun people. Like, find out where they're at now, or like what made them.
Where are they now?
The man bun army. Where are they
what
now?
happened to them?
And did they sell their trench coats, or they burn them? Like, what happened? Like, did they?
Yeah.
They sell their trench coats.
Yeah.
Technically, they were boys. They were boys, so it'd be boy buns.
Oh.
Poor thing.
Kind of cute, kind of weird. I need to out myself.
Go ahead.
I love the man bun look, and my husband's growing his hair out right now to do a man bun.
Oh Lord.
Awesome.
Oh Lord.
It has to be a generational thing. Then.
I don't think John just like John's never watched Vikings. Clearly.
No, See, I had a buddy of mine, right? Literally shaved his head and had a ponytail mo. He was a rescuer, looked like a Viking. Wasn't cool. Just looked like white trash. That's it. Wasn't like, oh, this is cool, and that. It just like you just like you're a meth head. That's all. I mean, which is fine. You going in and rescuing kids, but you trying to teach some kids. You look like you're selling meth to them. I mean, anyway. So that's what I'm saying. Like, honestly,
I think I'm detecting a little bit of jealousy.
Yeah. Take your hat off, John.
Yeah, take your hat off.
There we go. See?
Yeah. I knew it.
It is.
I knew I was on.
I'm saying.
When you had it, you couldn't even get a man bun.
I couldn't.
There wasn't enough of it, and you tried. You did try.
I did.
Not necessarily
You
bun,
tried?
No, I had a ponytail. I had a ponytail.
Like it's that big of a difference.
Honesty. Women
whatever.
want
It's
honesty,
long
John.
hair. So,
It was a Steven Seagal phase. Okay, just leave me alone. It was a Steven Seagal phase. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, but you can't really say much about other people. And you try to do the whole beard thing. I thought we were going to go for like.
That thing was. Oh, it was so nice. I had a big, full, just long beard. It was amazing. I loved, but I didn't. I didn't know how to utilize beard oil back then, and so I didn't have the conditioning that I have now on it. But
I feel like we need to talk about beards.
And a squirrel.
We do.
I feel like this is an opportunity for women to be honest about.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, beards.
No. Want to know what I loved about everything you just said about your beard?
Mm-hmm.
Take care of everything in your life the way you take care of your beard. For you guys out there.
But don't be one of those in the bathroom for 6 hours taking care of a beard. I mean,
yes, and that's what I want.
There's enough.
I want someone to look at me and say, Jessica, you're my beard, and I am going to take care of you and groom you and show you tender loving care like I do my beard. That is what women want.
So women want men to groom them.
That's what I heard. All right, me and Sherry, we're out. I'll wrap this up.
See, this is a great time to bring up selective listening. Have you guys heard of selective listening?
I feel like we need to have a
metaphor.
Yeah, do we have a whiteboard somewhere? Does anyone have a whiteboard?
Help you out, guys. Wow.
Yes, it was in fact a metaphor.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I just want to make sure. So there's another difference. Guys are very literal. Yes. And so if y'all speaking in metaphors, probably gonna be like, all right, I'll brush your hair. You wash your hair. You want me to shave your back? Nice. Whatever. Like, what do y'all need? Like, we don't know what y'all doing there.
Oh my!
I love it. Yes, that's what women want.
Okay.
Just shave my back.
Or braid it.
Use a little bit of that beard oil, honey.
Flatten it on out. It's good.
My back hair smells like pine.
Put a little essential oils in there.
Yes.
All right, so that is a question there. All right, so
oh boy, where's this gonna go?
On personal grooming.
There's no telling.
It's on personal grooming. I'm all natural, right? I'm hair from the top of my feet to the top of my head. Well, what's left
the bottom of your head.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. Hush, you know what I'm saying, woman. so groom, no groom. You won't like this, like how like what does women
Do
like?
I want you to braid your leg hairs? Is that what you're asking?
if it's long enough, do I braid it or do I shave it? You know, those kind of things.
I gotta say that there's a pendulum, and I've seen some with hair, the man buns hasn't been washed or dreads in decades or whatever, and there's little things moving around, and it's all one hair now. It kind of moves, and that's one side of the pendulum. And then there's the other of a man, for me personally, I'm not gonna speak for all women, should not be spending more time in the mirror than the wife. That's my opinion. Yeah. Grooming and sitting. I mean, brush your teeth, do your hair. But if you're sitting there, for hours doing makeup and putting and trimming every little hair, I don't know, whatever it is that a lot of guys nowadays are doing for hours in front of the mirror, then I don't mind long hair, man bun, whatever. But as long as it's kept clean, but you're not in there to the other side of the pendulum for hours, in the bathroom or whatnot. That's kind of my thing. I like your beard right now because it doesn't have any birds or critters running around. But here's the last time you did it, it was down here. There was a lot of things that we kept losing that we found in your beard later. And, that was. Ugh.
So when he shaved, the remote fell out.
Yes, we found it.
We found the remote. Yeah.
Now we can watch TV.
Ladies?
Oh.
I really think it just comes down to preference, though. I mean, some like the guys that have the more preppy look, and then some are more attracted to the big, long, bearded look. I kind of like something in the middle of that. Just something kind of in between.
What about back hair? Like, what about that? What y'all?
That's gross.
That's just
gross. That's not gross.
It.
That's not gross. That's manly. God, that's the thing is God gave me hair on my back for a reason.
No.
I don't know why.
No.
I'm not sure why. But why?
Doesn't mean that we need to discuss it though.
Why not?
I mean, it's okay, but I don't really want to talk about your back hair.
That's not quite what I fell in love with first. But
I mean, it's like having a pet gorilla. It's like having a pet gorilla.
I'm sorry, ladies.
So don't worry, ladies. This one's taken.
Darn.
Some of it may too even be cultural. Like there's certain cultures, probably where
that
to
is
have
true.
a beard is like no, don't do that. But then there are other cultures where you better have a beard, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think here in the States, where guys are probably more free than are on a lot of places to explore different ways of being a dude, as opposed to some other cultures, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, guys, hold up your hands like this.
Everyone, or just the guys? What are we doing?
Just the guys.
Okay.
Oh, just kidding.
What about?
Okay, I feel like I can say this. I just needed to check first to make sure I wasn't personally attacking anyone.
Where is
I
this
think
going?
there should be like a quotient, like you can measure your haircut. Mm-hmm. I think we should do that with arm and hand and finger hair for guys.
Yes,
that's what I want to see.
Interesting.
And then just like do a quick little buzz and just get it to the below the quotient, so it's good. And then that's like a hygiene thing I'd love to see implemented within society.
Knuckle hair. So knuckle hair is
ear hair guys.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh. Sorry, that's one of mine. Get rid of the nose and ears.
I can't stand nose hair.
I can't stand that. We'll go back to the discussion about how your eyes are supposed to be right here, but if you got some hair sticking out, I can't help. Maybe now I'm starting to realize what poor men feel, when the boobs or whatever. But man, you can do something about that though. You could trim those, because our eyes are like, oh, it's really long, and it's not.
When I was in middle school, I was, Jessica, you're going to be shocked to learn this, but
maybe not though.
I was
She's been with us an hour now.
Youth. I was a troubled youth, and when I was in middle school, I wouldn't have known that. Okay. When I was in middle school, I got into a lot of trouble, and there was this one assistant principal that they would send me to. I'm not going to call his name because people from my hometown may listen, but homeboy had so much freaking ear hair that he looked like he had like buckwheat sticking out his ear. Like it was like, it was awful. He had like an ear fro. Okay.
Oh.
And I had the hardest time. He's being all serious and telling me I shouldn't have hit that kid or whatever. And I had the hardest time like looking at him and taking him serious, because you're right, Chrissy. I could only look at his ear hair.
Do you think he knows?
He should.
I don't know.
He should know.
That's what I always wonder. That's my first question. Like, do they know? Do I need to tell them?
That's my question. Do I help them? Do I say, hey, look, once I was in a parking lot, my skirt was kind of tucked in my undies, and if somebody would have been like, "Ooh, you might want to know, fix the back of your skirt."
Yeah.
Great. Something stuck in my teeth. Thank you. I appreciate it. Dude, the ears.
John, I think we need a guy stuff episode on the stuff that guys need to grooming. We actually talked about this, like having an episode for guys on these things, on grooming, how to dress for certain occasions.
Yeah.
But be careful. Not that grooming for hours and hours.
Right. It's balanced. Definitely balanced.
Yeah.
So we see that we have humor is one, being groomed, like decently groomed, is two.
Brushing your teeth is always
brushing
good.
your teeth. Yeah. Don't have garbage breath. Smell like a cat dumped in your mouth. Don't do that. 3, 4 was what was the fourth thing? Have a job, like be an adult, right? So what's the last thing we could lay out there for the guys that are married and are possibly looking for, like I said, to woo a woman? What would be something that we could one last trait that all women want in a dude?
Listen.
Dang. Mic drop.
But I'm serious, and truly listen, and you'll know whether or not she wants you to fix it or help her fix it. But listen first. Just listen. Because most of us, I see it in my kids, I see it in my coworkers, I see it in you and me, we need to get stuff out. We need to talk about it. And when you are married, you have this significant other who knows you almost better than yourself. Such honesty and everything coming from you, that when I talk and I know that you hear me, I feel loved, respected, appreciated, worthy. And those are important things to feel with your significant other, because that's huge. I don't know, I kind of went off there, but yeah, it's kind of, let's say, listen, truly listen.
All right, good one. All right, what else?
So, well, I was just going to touch on that. So, back to earlier, that goes back to the stop the show, put your phone down, and make eye contact.
Good point. Yeah.
So that you're being heard, and they're listening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Intentional listening. And that goes, so now maybe we need to discuss what listening actually means. Like, put the phone down, be able to respond, be able to, maybe that might be a thing too. Or maybe we just need to write it all down for the guys.
Huh? What do you mean? Well, I want to listen to what you're saying. What are you saying?
I would personally would love that. A handy reference guide
A reference
to pull
guide.
out. It's like, hold on a second, wait a
If
second.
she says
Reach
this,
your
do
wallet,
this.
pull your little
If she
card
says
out.
this,
Script. Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. A
Script.
script. I like what you said. Like, okay,
We
when
are
she
talking about
says,
an actress script.
Oh,
there you go. There you go.
Mhm.
You know,
I
when
think
she says this, you say this. If
listening
this, you know.
about using more than just your ears. Like you have to engage all of your senses or else
Right.
you can't pick up on those things. So the reason a script's probably desired is because if you're not using your eyes and your ears, it really limits the amount you can take in on a sensory level to interpret and figure out what this person needs or wants from you right now. So if you think about it as like a whole experience that isn't just about your ears, your whole body. You have to listen with your whole body, your mind. You have to engage so much. And we should all be doing that for each other all the time. And the current political climate, listening with more than just like our eyes when we're reading stuff, like we have to really actively listen. And we're being lazy. We're just all lazy when it comes to listening to each other because it takes work.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that I know, like for me, I have to really watch because sometimes am I listening to a couple things? One, am I listening to fix this? Am I listening to actually understand, or am I listening to respond? Am I listening to you just so I can have enough ammo so I can throw my defense back at you? That's the one that I really have to watch myself on. Is I'm listening to you, but I'm not listening to actually try to understand. I'm trying to listen so I can have ammunition to know how to take apart your argument. And so that's one of the things that I have to really watch myself on, and especially in a marriage situation when you have conflict or you have something that's coming up. Is we talked about this on the last podcast with Matt. This idea of you're on the same team. You know, we're not enemies. Like this is not. We're trying to listen so we can actually become a united front to fight for the kingdom of God. You know, kind of thing. So that's kind of what that idea of listening. For me, I have to remember that is what am I listening for? And I have to do a little bit of soul searching in there, going and say what am I actually listening for too. So anyway, so yeah.
I think for me, if probably one of my biggest struggles is I'm a fixer by nature. I want to fix things. I want to, I see a problem. You know, I see a terrible thing happening in the world around me. I want to fix it, and I struggle with that. You know, and really, what was the gentleman's name we had on? It will probably have aired by the time this does. The Christian counselor. What's this?
Mike, Dr. Mike Takis.
Mike. Yeah, we're gonna have Mike Takis come on like a regular marriage moment for men, or marriage under the microscope, and that was such an eye-opening thing. He talked about was learning to ask Sherry, or do you want me to listen to empathize, or you want me to listen to help you strategize a plan to fix this? Because my immediate go-to is, here's a 10-step plan on how to fix this problem that you're dealing with. You know,
which usually just makes me really mad because I don't want a plan laid out. Right. I just want to know you hear what I'm saying.
Darn you, Sun Tzu.
And she might have already thought of those 10 ways and thought of another 10 as to why she shouldn't do this. But that goes back to that, like I was saying, like just having, that's your soulmate standing there that you just want to get your feelings across, is like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm feeling. So when your response is like, oh baby, I didn't realize, or man, wow, or just in a responsive, connected way, not necessarily, oh, let me lay out this plan, let me show you how to fix it because you're not doing it right. You know, it's like, it makes a huge difference. Yeah.
So cool. So we have number one, love Jesus. That's number one. 2,
really
take a shower.
Love Jesus too, by the way.
Yeah, really love Jesus. Don't just say it. Don't just be going
like him.
Yeah, and don't be going to church
Don't
just
be
so
going to church to try to pick up girls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
which everybody in youth group is pretty much just counted out on that one because some people go. There's only 99% of the people go to youth group for. Anyway,
Speaking from experience, honey.
yeah, pretty much.
Busted.
So love Jesus. Really love Jesus. Take a shower. Don't be stanky. Like groom yourself. You know. 2, have a job. Be a dude. Take care of yourself. Be an adult. And be ready to protect your woman. Somebody jump in the hot tub with him. Be ready to kick him in the jump. So that's 3.
Or the bathtub.
Or the bathtub. Definitely no bathtub time.
Bathtub.
Definitely no bathtub times. 4 would be I lost my train of thought on the 4th one.
Sorry.
Listening would be the final one there. But before that one, we had one more. And Anthony, help me out because I'm lost it on there.
We'll let the ladies help on that.
Oh yeah, ladies, help us out there.
What was it?
I don't remember.
We were talking about grooming before that.
Those grooming.
Josh, I tell you what, y'all run the podcast back.
Yeah, rewind and help us out there.
Yes.
In the comment section. And the last one will be listening, actively listening to help, to encourage, to love, to empathize, and being funny. That's it. Humor. That was the last one.
Oh, yes.
Being funny. So those are some things that can help you as a guy to walk towards having a significant woman in your life that loves Jesus and that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Those are some things that can help you do that.
Or being a better version, Our tagline for this program is Guy Stuff, building better men. And we are silly, we are crazy, and there's a method to the madness, really. We're walking you to the deep end of the pool so we can, get you there. But I would challenge. I mean, maybe this is the episode for fellas to listen to with their wives. This is one they actually need to listen to with their wives if they have a wife. And we all are in that process of becoming. If any man is in Christ, he's becoming a new creature. And so I would say to both men and women, give each other some grace. But guys, don't abuse that grace. We don't need to be doing the same habits, 2 decades later that we were doing when we first got married. And I know we all struggle with that. So now, if you've not watched Thy Neighbor, which Jessica is in, if you've not watched that, go check that out. Jessica, before we let you go, is there any upcoming movie that you can tell us about real quick that for everybody to be looking out for?
Nothing upcoming.
Okay.
Nothing on the radar right now.
Sorry, you can again watch that. Jessica is on Instagram and all those platforms, but don't send her creepy messages, please.
What's your Instagram and what's your
direct him to John?
Yeah, direct him to me. Direct him to me, and we'll have conversations.
My publicist will answer and respond to all pictures and video messages
with pictures and messages
with
in like kind.
Pictures and video messages
in like kind.
So you're welcome in advance. No, my Instagram handle is Jessica Koloian, and on Facebook it's the same.
Awesome. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for being with us. Chrissy, thanks for being with us. Sherry, thanks for being with us. We've enjoyed having you guys and bringing some beauty to the Guy Stuff world. We thank you guys so much. And
it's a lot classier episode.
Yeah, a little bit classier episode. It was good.
You should have these ladies back more. Give them a little break.
Y'all need to do y'all's own three, like the three amigas
gal stuff.
Gal stuff podcast. There you go.
I love it.
Y'all talk about that. Whatever women talk about when dudes aren't around. I don't know. Y'all can talk about that.
That's a whole other thing.
I'm good not knowing.
I don't think you'd want to be on.
I don't think they talk about us really a whole lot. I think they're happy to be away from us.
And be like, thank God you're not around.
Guys, thanks for listening or watching, whichever the case may be. If you've not yet done so, make sure that you head on over to Facebook and join the Facebook group. We chat all throughout the week there with each other, pray for each other, subscribe on YouTube so you'll know when new videos load. We're about to start doing some really crazy stuff on there, like Gosh Stuff doing Gosh Stuff, and am I too old for this? So you definitely want to be subscribed to YouTube. Check us out on the gram as well. We're out there. So thanks for hanging out with us. God bless you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Peace.